Let's do it.
Well, I think first of all, there's no tomorrow. It has to be today, and it has to be now. And you have to push yourself because and this is what I tell a lot of people. They say we want to go to gym, we want to get onto these different kind of diets, and we're going to start that on Monday and Tuesday. And I said, you know what? You're going to plan that way. It's never going to happen. You've got to start it right now, this very minute. The basic things I can tell you, and this is for women too, and women and men. I think you can have any excuse in the world about your work being too difficult and your timings being irregular. But I think you have to find time to have your meals on time. Very important. Very important. Maybe your boss will say, go out and do this assignment. I think you need to carry your tiffin or whatever. Get your food from the house. So my trainer asks me to have a cheat meal once a week. But I haven't cheated in, I don't know, maybe 20, 22 years now. In 2006, all the producers took their checks back and said, goodbye, John. So I've lost all my work. I've gone through my issues, I've gone through my problems, but here I am standing in front of you. I'm fortunately on the cover of a magazine I deeply adore. So my only advice to people who are starting off is take expert advice.
Okay.
Don't rush into doing things yourself.
Okay.
And I
Do it
speak
gradually.
from experience. Yeah,
Okay.
I've injured myself in the past when I was younger. I, got into strength training and I had a tennis elbow. And I don't practice yoga, but I've incorporated yoga in a lot of my daily routines that I perform. For example, my lower back is prone to injury. So when I work my lower back, I do something called a chakrasana. Chakrasana is when you do an arch. Now that's one of the most difficult things for a man to do. I'm 6'1", I weigh in at about 91 kilos. So in a country filled with branches, I am a bark. So what I'm saying is it's huge. So I try and incorporate a lot of yoga moves in my like pranayam, chakrasana, ashtanga. There are certain moves that I have vajrasana. When I want to stretch my quadriceps, I get into a vajrasana pose, and from there I stretch my back out. So I incorporate a lot of yoga moves in my functional training, in my strength training. So it's a combination of TRX, Pilates, yoga, functional, strength. जैसे आप खाना बनाते हो ना, उसके अंदर सब कुछ डालते हो आप to make it tasty. I enjoy my workouts. I think what's worked for me is in order of priority, it's two things. One is self-conviction and the other is choices. So I've always convinced myself that I'm worth it and that I can do it. And B, I've always made choices not being afraid of failure. So I think both have worked in my favor. I think, like when I work out, there's a mix of cardio, strength and functional that I do. I do a lot of TRX. There's a host of exercises I do. I do Pilates, I do a lot of cardio, I do Stairmasters. There's everything that I do, but strength training is a very important part, and usually most of us get injured when we do strength training.
Exactly.
Because we don't warm up. You need to warm up, you need to hydrate yourself, very important, before you get into any kind of strength training.
Okay.
बचपन से मैं अपने आप को कहता था कि एक दिन, आज के तारीख में तो लोग मुझे जानते नहीं है, लेकिन एक दिन मैं चाहूँगा कि हर कोई मुझे मेरे नाम से जाने, जिनको मैं भी नहीं जानता हूँ, और वो हुआ। लेकिन उसके साथ मेरी जो परवरिश थी आज के तारीख तक, वो बहुत ही मिडिल क्लास रही है। मेरे पेरेंट्स मिडिल क्लास है, मेरे पिताजी जो है वो साउथ इंडियन है, मलयाली है, मेरी मॉम जो है वो ईरानी है,
और बहुत ही बेसिक थे दोनों। और आज के तारीख में भी, इनफैक्ट आज मैं ऑटो लेके गया था, ऑटो में आया मैं, तो हमारे अंदर ये नहीं है कि हमें फैंसी गाड़ी में जाना है या एक अच्छी गाड़ी में, बड़ी गाड़ी में जाना है। तो जो मिडिल क्लास वैल्यूज़ थे मेरे, आज तक मैंने वो वैल्यूज़ को एकदम यहाँ करीब रखा है।
And this is the best advice I can give each one of you here. Be selfish where your body is concerned and take care of your body. And if your senior does not really care about it as much as you do, he doesn't really care about you. You got to care about yourself. You got to look after yourself. So that's the most important advice I'll give all of you as friends.
मैं हमेशा जिम में रहता था और जिमनेशियम में आई वॉज अ जिमनास्ट और मैं एक एथलीट था 100-200 मीटर्स रेस में। क्लास में कम रहता था और ज़्यादा जिम में एंड ऑन द फील्ड।
And it's not about lifting weights. It's not about how much weight you lift. It's about how you lift it. So form is very important. I think life teaches you a lot, and life taught me that I need to fight and that I need to survive, and I think it's human instinct and human nature to survive. And coming from a very modest background, I had no other means to an end but to survive. And thankfully I had education behind me, so a combination of being educated and a combination of being confident about myself helped me a lot. I think you need to lift your butt off the couch. You need to get your brains jogging, and you need to start moving.
No Photoshop, keep clean, do good, and work out hard and work out forever and die with a six-pack. Sparta! Kill it.
I've often been accused of being very regimental in my lifestyle because I sleep at 9:30. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
I was going to ask you that, yeah.
Yeah, and people say that, I mean, it's boring.
It's boring.
Just come on, change your lifestyle. And I said, and I only tell them, I say, listen, the time I wake up is when you guys come home. There's a lot more productive stuff I do in the morning whilst you guys are sleeping. And I think sugar is the worst thing that you can have. And I'd encourage everybody watching this program, espresso, to have an espresso shot. That's fantastic, but no way. Sugar is like, oh my God, if sugar was introduced in the industry today, it would be 8 times more addictive than cocaine. It's probably poison for your system. And it's because the sugar lobby is so dominant the world over. Industries are running on it. That's why people are keeping it alive, but it's so bad for your system. Just avoid it. My favorite mithai is that, and they resonate with this. I love the Kaju Katri Barfi.
Yes.
I love it.
That's
it's my favorite. It's my favorite mithai. I had it 25 years ago. So I've had an aerated drink 21 years ago, 22 years ago. जब भी मैं 8वीं कक्षा में था, तभी मेरे पिताजी के जो पार्टनर हैं, उन्होंने मेरे डैड को चीट किया, सारे पैसे ले लिए, और मैं 89 की बात कर रहा हूँ, जहाँ पे 3 लाख रुपए आज के 3 करोड़ हैं। और उस वक्त पे मेरे डैड ने सिर्फ मुझे यही कहा कि बेटा जो भी हो लाइफ में, मेरे पास अगर पैसे नहीं है, किसी से चोरी मत करना, किसी को चोरी मत करना, और किसी को रिश्वत मत देना, रिश्वत मत लेना। मैंने कहा हाँ डैड, और मुस्कुरा के मैंने डैड को कहा, और डैड ने मुझे याद दिलाया। मैंने कहा कि एक दिन डैड ये चेहरा जो है ना, इसको बेच के मैं पैसे बनाऊंगा।
So this is a very special exercise which most Indian men don't want to do. It's called legs, right?
Right, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the leg press and okay. So this is basically for your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your calves, works your entire your hip flexors, literally everything on your lower body. And you need to tighten your core when you do it. And
That's how we pull back. And this should be fun actually. But people run away from this.
And I do action, a lot of action in my films. So, and I'm very disciplined. And I still sometimes, you cannot avoid injury because I'm
Right.
falling from places. And I'm
Right.
falling from 20 feet above, I'm hitting the
Oh my
ground,
God.
etc. So, I think when you train yourself, you avoid injury. It's preventative,
Right.
You can help yourself by really building your muscles, strengthening your ligaments,
Right.
strengthening your muscle fibers around your ligaments, around your bones, because these things keep you going.
365 days a year, या तो ये मेरा शेप है या इससे 20% कम 20% ज़्यादा है. But I try and maintain the shape 365 days of the year, जो बहुत ही ज़रूरी है. और अगर आपको ये मेंटेन करना है तो ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप अल्कोहल नहीं पिए. आप ऑफ कोर्स ड्रग्स की बात छोड़िए, लेकिन ये केक्स जो आप खाते हो, फ्राइड स्टफ, ये सब आपको इससे ब्रेक लेना पड़ेगा. At least for about 4 or 5 years to see some change. And I've been doing it for about 21 years now, 22 years without a break. Last time, मेरा जो favorite sweet है, I like Kaju Katri Barfi. I love that, I love it. Oh my! I had it 21 years ago. So I don't have aerated drinks. It's been about 15 years, 16 years. Rice. Once in a way, maybe once a year, white rice. So you have to be very strict with your diet, because if you're not strict, you're not going to see results. And trust me, if all of you are very strict, you can be on the cover of Men's Health.
One advises that strength training is important, and we
Yes.
cannot be condescending towards strength training.
Yes.
I've also learned to crawl before I can walk, and I've learned to walk before I can run. So I think everything has been gradual in my life. But my favorite sport has always been chess. So of course, not like Vishwanathan Anand, who can think probably 3,000 permutations and combinations ahead. But I do read books in chess, and I think 300 moves ahead. And I know that if this doesn't happen, what's my next step? And if this doesn't happen, what's my next step? So I guess life is a game of chess, and it depends on what your next move is.
The other thing, I can't advise anybody on smoking, drinking, doing drugs, but if you can avoid doing all of this, it's great. Especially drugs is a complete no. Doing drugs is something that's completely unavoidable. Drinking, I'm sure people drink to socialize. Having a glass of red wine is okay. That's all I can say.
I don't drink. I don't touch alcohol in my life.
Okay.
I don't smoke. I've never done drugs in my life. I don't even encourage myself to go to a place where I would even think remotely that someone would be doing it. I avoid situations and places like that and people like that.
And this is the message I want to give all of you, is never cheat anyone.
But what motivates you to do that? Do you ever feel lazy?
I'll tell you very honestly, I don't want to be dependent on someone when I'm old. I want to be fit. And by fit, and I want to say this on record,
Yeah.
I don't mean a six-pack. There's a difference between being fit and being healthy. I want
Yes.
to be healthy. I don't necessarily just want to have a six-pack, something that's external.
Yes.
And keep falling sick.
byproduct.
Yeah, it's a byproduct. The idea is that lead a healthy lifestyle.